what is the purpose of a PSA? The public service announcement, the campaign of them that we're currently doing with the honey curcumins, the purpose of it is, well, twofold. It is to prove that Podler has seen this phenomenon, this true phenomenon that is of supreme importance that no one else has seen, and to do that by giving the reads of those that are out in public. So we're doing this with celebrities, and we're also doing it with people who are involved in various models that have given them mismath, confusions of what natural law is. So we're going to show where Podler sees the actual truth of things. So that's necessary in order to demonstrate the superiority of our product as opposed to the others that are on offer by other vendors. Okay, the other part is we are trying to enlighten as many people as we can in the process. That means that it needs to be done in such a way to highlight the truth as best we're able with our resources as Mojo journalists breaking a story. When you're breaking a story, so we'll go back to both things. The first one is of what it's not. The PSAs are not pitches to people. They are, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and say it. They are pitches, but they're a unique kind of pitch. Okay, for example, when you're pitching to someone about getting like this really cool thing that you can use some of your discretionary income with, that's a certain kind of pitch. We're not pitching that. What we're pitching is not something that you have a choice in. You can also pitch to someone, okay, there's actually a big monster coming, you see it coming over the corner, okay, you have to know how to deal with that, and you have to know how to go down that forest to get to safety. I have a map. Do you have a map? No, you don't have a map. Okay, this is the map you use. See, that's also a pitch. I'm pitching that you should use this map I'm giving to you, but different kind of product. All right, so it's not a pitch where we need the people who are receiving it to be comfortable. That's important. Some pitches you need people to be comfortable. We're not having a comfortable pitch. We're pitching a uncomfortable but supremely necessary product. It's called natural law truth. This is because some people have asked why in the PSAs we're going after, maybe we're not going after people who've had the most traffic recently, meaning they have not been online recently, and then also why the approach isn't perhaps more solicitous. It is for those three reasons, which is that we need to have a proof of concept. We need to save as many people as possible. Don't lose sight of that. And we're pitching an uncomfortable but supremely necessary product called the truth of natural law. So that is why we're doing it in the way we're doing it to the people we're doing it. First, proof of concept. We're selecting cases that pop out to us where we can actually highlight what's going on in the phenomenon, and that Podler is the ones that discovered it, and whom, bam, here's a display case of evidence. Next, the lesson needs to be done in such a way to help the most people. Now think about mojo journalism, or journalism at all that you're aware of. If you're covering a story and you want to do the most good with covering the story, how do you do that? In the most authentic way possible, that is relevant to the most people, that is impactful in a way relevant to the story. All those things that I just said can make it to where the people involved in the story being covered do not like the way you cover the story, and that's good journalism. Okay, so make sure we understand this. This is good journalism. So we're covering an uncomfortable, ugly case of global stupidity and toxicity possession. It's not a pretty sight. Okay, so that's what's going on, and we're covering that story. These PSAs are education lessons of a natural law that it's just there. We don't have a choice in it, and is to save people by going, look, 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 everyone, there's a problem here. Can everyone see this problem? So we're using these things to highlight to a problem of people not seeing the natural law and thus not conduct themselves in the most harmoniously and productive ways. Very painful, fucked up ways. That's what's happening. Damaging ways, wasteful ways. So we need to highlight, we need to ring bells. We're ringing bells of alarm by taking cases that are out in the public, celebrity, reads done by experts, whatever you want to fucking call those people in typology and in other models, and then the people themselves who use those models and just of their own free will, like, hey, I've been playing around with typology or atheism or monotheism or shamanism or whatever they fucking are reading a book at from Barnes & Nobles, and they now decide they're going to actually say what they are. So all those people are actually putting out stupid, toxic possession spells. The vast majority of them are possessed themselves, and they're actually trying to possess other people in a more or less conscious or unconscious way. So we're doing everyone a favor, by the highest favor, by telling the truth on this as quickly as we can, because then everyone can go, oh shoot, we're not in the adventure we thought we are, we're not doing as well as we need or are capable of doing. That's only going to happen when an alarm is sounded. So PSA, public service announcement, this is an alarm of we are in a dangerous emergency of ignorance. In short, our job with the PSAs is to contact as many people as we can of different varieties, to highlight it in such a way that we are actually demonstrating the phenomenon in the best way possible, which may not be the most comfortable way for the subject. So it is the best help for them, and it's definitely the best help for everyone else who's watching it, is for us to just lay out the case in the best way that we can. That way people have the best chance of seeing the truth. Next, our people in Pod Lair, we have a lot of truth saying to do. It's not easy work. So something else is we need to practice, we need to train doing this work. There's both the technical aspect and then there's the courage, the integrity that you need to have in order to do it. It's not easy. So we actually also are using this as a way to train ourselves to have the truth voice that we need to have when the various practitioners and advocates of Pod Lair, they go on TV, they go on radio, they're in person, they're talking to their family, they're getting lots of pushback, they're getting lots of questions. They have to be really used to this. So this is also training how to speak truth, how to see truth and speak truth. Again, that benefits everyone who's training in Pod Lair to do this. The best way to train someone to speak truth voice is say, here's a sample, see truth, speak truth. That will train the person in the truth speaking voice the best way possible. Again, not comfortable with the subject sometimes. So for the global classroom at large, the PSA team who are in training, and the higher spirits of the subject who's the case we're working on, all of them benefit from the way we're doing it. The individual person in their lower spirit form, where they're confused by some model that's possessed them, they will find it uncomfortable. We're not pitching that person. We're pitching their higher self. And we're pitching everyone who's watching us do that. And we're training our hero team in the process. That is the purpose of the PSAs. For those of you on the PSA team, the plan is, and for those who are watching and want to know what we're going to be doing, this is what we're going to be doing. My good friend Ademus is going to be putting out dismantles on all the models of stupidity and toxicity that are currently possessing the world out there, using the Pod Lair lens to look at their model and say what natural law thinks of it. That in turn is going to set me up to go into doing PSAs and breaking the case of how you basically do a exorcism, a dispossession spell of stupidity and toxicity on a person who has it on them. So I'll be doing like a typology town, I'll be doing Nijai, misread as Naiji, and once I do that, I probably won't do that one again. I'll try to do a good job of it and then move on. I've kind of got a method for that. I'm going to be doing like a 5-act structure. It kind of lays the case out nicely. I'll break the case of a variety of misreads within typological victims, people who are victims from using typology models. But then all the other dismantles that Ademus is going to put out, and there's going to be a bunch, each one I will then take on a certain number of PSAs to break the case of the various the variety of victims of that particular thing. For example, monotheism, racism, there's all kinds of things out there that there are different things that actually cause a person to get thrown off from natural law by using that model. Ademus will do a breakdown of the principles. I will then take various cases, actual live cases of people possessed by stupid and toxic, and lay out for them how they free themselves, also the world, how they free themselves and see how that works for other people. And then for the people who are training, you'd come behind me, follow the leader, and do the same thing. So we're going to train a team of people able to see the truth of math and misreads of math throughout all existence, and then to be able to voice it in spells that will help cure people, heal people, save their minds, free them from chains that shouldn't be on them. In tactical terms, we're basically going to go through a series of adventures. I'm going to set up the modules. Me and Demas are basically creating a little RPG game for you, as is Jailene. That's kind of like the game is the mojo reading, and then me and Demas are kind of laying out the modules of the various kinds of stupid and toxic monsters and possession spells that we must fight against. So, online, I'm going to go through a series of niche, stupid, and toxic. So, for example, typology. Typology is niche, stupid, because you tend to not find like an actual real-life typology town. There's no place that really has that. So, what instead is, it's online. So it's a collection of people from all over the world who have enough of that interest that they spend enough time doing it. They're kind of like part of that culture. So we'll go through a series of these niche cultures of stupid and toxic possessed people who are in various stages of derangement. Now, after that, we're going to pursue online communities and do PSAs there as well for physical locations, such as Southern California, such as England, such as East Coast, Baltimore, New York, all kinds of things. When we do that, we'll go online and continue to do the PSAs like we're doing, but we'll address the people of that community with whatever issues come up, which could be from any of the niche things dismantling that we covered before. For example, in SoCal, there's all kinds of people who are into different religions, into different scientific methodologies, into different beliefs of how one ascends. So we will address all those when we actually go and take on SoCal. So we're trying to unpossess SoCal. We're trying to unpossess England. We're trying to unpossess the East Coast. We're trying to unpossess the whole world. That's our purpose. So we're going to start with figuring out how to dismantle through pod layer each kind of bad spell, boss monsters that use those as well. So the victims, how to get them out of it, and also the boss monsters that keep people there more. We'll take them out as well. So as we do that, we'll then prepare to take on locations, and then we'll go to physical locations to where we're actually able to do that in actual communities, live communities where people are good enough at mojo reading to go around and see the people in the community, know their mojo, know their story, and they know how to say to them what the better way is. And no matter what kind of stupid or toxicity that is currently possessing them comes spewing out of their deranged mouth, we bust out the Enlightenment Kung Fu, we do what needs to be done, and we save everyone that we can. But we have to go true, and we have to go hard.